Okay, here I am in my backyard, standing on my patio, and right here, see if I can zoom in, white begonias. This is a perennial begonia that flowers almost the entire year that I grew from cuttings. And on the other side of the bench, with some basil there, but there's also some more cuttings I put in, white begonias, and they'll get big by this time next year. In back of that, I have, this is a mango tree, one of my mango trees. The other one's in the front. This one is blooming, as you can see, but it's way too early. I'm not sure why it's blooming. This one doesn't fruit until August. Okay, panning down. This is one of my fish ponds, surrounded by Swiss chard on the sides that I just planted a short while ago. And the waterfall is turned off because it's a cold day. It's 64 and it's going to get down into the 40s tonight, the upper 40s. There's some black taro in there, and you see some more Swiss chard that's older. This will grow all year, well, most of the year down here anyway, about 9 months of the year. And next to that I have red sales lettuce. In back of that, oregano. And there's a persimmon tree that's lost its leaves like they do. They're deciduous. And in a couple of pots I have tomatoes and more Swiss chard. The Swiss chard over here is bright lights, and it's a really pretty color, if you can see. Okay. Coming around to over here, there's a whole area here of black raspberries. Mysore raspberries from India, and they're starting to bloom, or at least to bud now. They're going to be fruiting in about a month, or at least edible in about a month. And up here is an abiu, A-B-I-U, which is really rare, and I've never tasted it, but it's supposed to be really good tasting. Now coming around, oh, by the way, there are fish in this pond that are edible. Over here on this side of the walkway, I just planted some stevia, and I have some tarragon. Those are dandelion plants. And back on the fish side, I have chives and shallots growing like crazy. Okay. All right, over here I have my hot tub, big hot tub, and on the back of the hot tub you can see some Hawaiian bamboo, which is yellow bamboo. We'll look at that later. And here, growing in a small aquarium, 1 or 2 gallons, I have watercress, and that's growing pretty good now. And I have another container there that I might grow some more watercress. So, getting back over here, going on this side of the yard, this dark red plant with a beautiful hibiscus-like flower is called a cranberry hibiscus. The leaves are edible, and I use them. They're very citrusy tasting, and I use them in salads. In back of that I have a lychee, and the big thing that's spreading all over, that you might be able to see, is pigeon pea. This is what they use to make the peas and rice of the Bahamas, pigeon peas, which are actually beans, they're not peas. And this produces nitrogen, and it's used as a good mulch and as a fertilizer, and I'm using it as a fertilizer for the fruit tree next to it, which is a young fruit tree and needs all the nitrogen it can get. Over here I just noticed for the first time in my edible hibiscus another, this is a perennial. By the way, the hibiscus, the cranberry hibiscus and the edible hibiscus are perennials. They'll grow year after year, and you can eat them year after year. And this one's flowering now with a really gorgeous yellowish flower. Okay, this is very good. I use this as a lettuce. It can also be used in stir fries and cooked like a spinach, but it's actually really good as lettuce. Much better tasting than iceberg lettuce. In back of this, on the ground first of all, I have some eggplants that are coming up. I planted most of my vegetables way too late this year. Okay, over here, way up in the sky is my papaya tree. And as you can see, at the top, about 20 feet up, I have lots of papayas. I'll probably end up cutting this because it's blooming down here at the ground. And a papaya tree is not really a tree, it's hollow on the inside. If I cut this here, it'll be hollow on the inside. Okay, over here is just with chicken wire around, it's a compost bin. This one next to it is actually a tree, it's a moringa tree, and the whole tree is edible except for the wood part of the tree. The bark is edible, the leaves are edible. The leaves taste like green beans initially and then get a real strong horseradishy taste when you eat them raw. When you cook them, they taste more like green beans without the horseradish, really strong taste. But it's really high in protein, and it's really an excellent tree to grow in a lot of places like Africa. In back of that, I have a mulberry tree that's fruiting that I'm in the process of cutting down to plant something else there. Okay. Going around the corner here. I know the camera's panning too fast, it's telling me. This is a pitaya tree, also called dragon fruit tree. And it's not really a tree, it's a vine. It's a cactus, but it's a cactus that's a tropical cactus. And the fruit is pretty good for cactus fruit. Okay, I'm tripping over stuff here, even though I'm walking on a walkway. Here is a katuk. This is a perennial vegetable from Borneo, I believe it's native to. And it's grown in a lot of areas, tropical areas. Of course, it's perennial. We'll come back year after year. And these leaves taste a lot like peanuts or peanut butter. Raw. I don't know what they taste like cooked. What they taste like peanuts. And this is getting kind of out of control. I need to really prune this back. Here's another pigeon pea tree. Why I have two, I don't know. They grow huge and they're perennials too. Okay, getting over here, as you can see, coffee. This is a coffee tree that's about, 9 feet tall. And it's loaded with coffee. Coffee beans that you strip the outer layer of it and you cook the beans to make coffee. This is the same variety that you buy in the grocery store. Okay, over here to the right, you just see a lot of leaves, but this is a black sapote tree. A black sapote, and there's a black sapote, but I have really a ton of fruit. There's a fruit right there. There's some more fruit up there. And it's pretty much loaded with fruit. This is also called the chocolate pudding tree, or chocolate pudding fruit, because the inside of the fruit, it does not taste like chocolate pudding at all, but it looks like chocolate pudding. And I use this to make a bread like a banana bread, which is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite foods and my favorite breakfast. Okay, in the back there, I don't know what I have there. Oh, there's also a compost bin, and that's malanga, I believe. Malanga is a root vegetable that the Cubans seem to like. Up ahead, this is a trellis that I grow grapes. And the grapes, of course, are not flowering now. It's wintertime, January here. And we'll take a look over here, getting in the back side of the hot tub. Here's my bamboo. And this, believe it or not, has grown about 4 feet in the last 2 days. It grows like crazy, the bamboo. And of course, the shoots are edible. In back of that, I have a cinnamon tree, and I have a couple of small allspice trees. Okay, panning around to here. Oh, here's the backside of the coffee tree. This is a carambola. This is a small variety. I don't remember the name. It's not called hood. I don't remember maybe it is called hood. It supposedly tastes like pears. I don't think so. It's a small fruit. I have a large fruited carambola tree that we'll see in a few minutes. Here's the fruit. This makes the best juice in the world. It comes out like a smoothie when you put it through a juice extractor. Okay, this tree should stay fairly small, but it's looks like it's about 12 feet tall now. Here's another trellis that I built, and some more raspberries, bananas. Over here I have lima beans, which are perennial. And, oh, it looks like it's flowering. This one's flowering. And I have a couple of these, 2 or 3, maybe no, 2 on the trellis. And back of that is a cherry of the Rio Grande, which is a tropical tree from Brazil that tastes very much like a cherry. And here's another papaya. Just zooming into that, you can see all the papayas on there. Papaya trees grow extremely fast. Okay. Bananas. And this huge thing right here in front of me, just to the right of the path, is lemongrass, which is used in a lot of Oriental cooking and grows like crazy. It's probably the fastest growing thing. But here's another panning too fast. Here's another lima bean that's kind of growing on the path I need to fix. And back here, a lot of bananas, a lot of jabuticaba. That's the national fruit of Brazil. It tastes like grapes and my second favorite fruit. Okay, and we're getting into the bananas. A lemon tree, a jujube, which is deciduous, lost its leaves, very good tasting, like a date. This is a fig tree. I just picked some figs a few weeks ago, and it's finished fruiting for the year. It'll start again in June. Here are some bananas growing on a small tree. Big bunch of bananas. They'll be ripe in about in about a month, 3 weeks. Okay, here's one of my vegetable gardens up here, a tiny patch of, I think those are just radishes. They're kind of growing all over. Okay, I'm going to turn this off.